Salty Rick, I'm not sure that's the best use of your time. Trying to see how many times you can get the Nightbot to shut your stuff down. Hello, everybody.
Howdy.
There's three of us here. Walker is
That's more than
technically here. Huh?
well, that's more than last week.
That is more. Well, last time. Last time, not last week.
Oh,
There were significantly more of us last week because last week was Dungeons and Demon Slayers.
well, true.
There's a lot of really good stuff that we've got to talk about. I want to give like opinions on stuff and like actually have a conversation with everybody about this. Holy crap, a lot of trailers came out this weekend and today. Yep. Oh, there's a Walker.
Yeah.
There he is. Eva said something about her computer crashing on her multiple times, so fingers crossed maybe she'll be able to join us. But we've got at least 6 topics to talk about today. And we'll go... I meant to ask you guys this, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. How well versed are you on your Ghostbusters knowledge?
I've seen the first 2.
Okay, that is basically the requirement.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen the first.
I mean, I grew up with the real Ghostbusters cartoon series, so the little gunner thing that pops out of Ecto 1, that's a thing that I'm familiar with. So the gunner seat, that is a thing that happened in the cartoon that they're acknowledging, so that's kind of cool. Alrighty, so there's a lot of stuff to kind of point out, but hey, the Ghostbusters trailer, let's talk about that first, because that's the freshest thing. That's the thing that came out today. Holy crap. Wow. First off, thoughts. Like, what were you guys' thoughts? Like, y'all seen it, right? Y'all saw the trailer?
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
Yeah. Back to that, and this may just be me thinking I saw it, but I thought I saw in one of the scenes where it like did a quick flash, like the dog creature from the first movie.
Oh yeah. They call them the terror dogs or something.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Yeah,
it looks like our new keymaster may in fact end up being the teacher.
I was gonna say it might be the.
Vince Clortho.
See, that's gonna be sad because I actually was hoping the teacher could kind of be more. Now, they haven't given away any of the original cast coming back.
No,
right?
and
No.
honestly, I know people are a bit upset about that, but they didn't show it in the trailer, but it's already confirmed that the original cast has shot their stuff for this. Like, that's not even a secret. They had to publicly announce it because people got photos. So, here are the people confirmed for Ghostbusters Afterlife from the original cast and crew. Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Ernie Hudson, Bill Murray, Annie Potts.
Okay.
So Janine, Venkman, Ray, Winston, and Dana are all confirmed back. Don't know if Rick Moranis will be showing up or not. It'd be really awesome if he did, even if it's just for a cameo. But yes, they've already confirmed those people because they were all in the same city having a meal together after shooting, apparently. So yeah,
Nice.
it wasn't exactly a secret. But yeah, they got the majority of the original cast back. Now there's some other things that have been talked about that have, you know what, I'm going to slow this down. I'm going to slow the playback speed just because I can. Oh no, that's not slowing the playback speed. What? That's speeding it up. No. Let's slow it down about, no, not that way. Come on. This way. 0.5. There we go. All right. So one of the other things that's talked about is the house that they're staying at, or whose grandkids they actually are. Are they Spangler's grandkids, because that seemed to be hinted at, or are they Ray's grandkids? And the reason why is because of the farm, is the reason why they're talking about Ray, because in the original Ghostbusters, Ray has to take out a second mortgage on his family's farm. Now, my speculation is that yes, this is Ray's farm, but I think that Ray gave it to Egon, and those are Egon's grandkids. So when they had to move everything, like the containment grid and all the ghost busting stuff, they moved it over to the barn, and Ray gave it over to Egon. So it is like the Spangler family farm. That is my essential theory. And one other thing, when I'm talking about the barn that I want to point out, you can clearly see that the roof is caved in at the top of the barn. And the last time in a Ghostbusters film that a roof caved in was when the containment grid failed in the first movie and all the ghosts got out, and that caved in the roof of the firehouse. So I'm wondering if maybe that's the case. It's a nice little theory I have, and I've kind of wanted to put that out. Also, we saw a Slimer-like ghost in there.
I was gonna say, like, no sign of Slimer, but we did, like you said, a Slimer-like ghost.
It was more gray than green. Now, that could be just, them changing with the times, or it could be that the reason he's gray instead of green could be the fact that, he's been in the freaking chamber that, what did I just finish calling it?
The mine?
No, not the mine. The containment unit. He may have been in there for so long that, he's lost a lot of ectoplasm, and thus he's now gray instead of green. But I like it. I'm really enjoying this, and you can definitely see that there's more horror than comedy in there, and that's important because, the first film wasn't set up to be a comedy. It was just had a lot of funny moments in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And lastly, there is a moment, and I think we're getting to it pretty soon, where they're talking about the earthquakes and the shakes and everything, and in the background, when they cut to Finn Wolfhard's character, hang on. There we go. In the background right here, you can see that's another Ghostbusters 1 nod right there. Look at the books in the background, all stacked like that. All I could think about when I saw that was Venkman going, yes, no human being would stack books like this. And I'm like, yes. So there's like little tidbits just in this trailer that make me kind of happy. Hey, that was scary too if you were a kid.
Well, yeah. My goddamn fucking velociraptors. But no, I mean,
opening doors and stuff.
For me, like, Ghostbusters
caught us very much by surprise, or at least caught me very much by surprise.
It caught me by surprise too.
Oh, son of a biscuit! There is another trailer that I forgot that we need to talk about. We'll have to talk about the Black Widow trailer toward the end of the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Really enjoyed that. All right, but let's talk about Free Guy real quick. All right.
Hi, guys.
Oh, hey, there's Neva.
Hey.
I've been here for the last 5 minutes.
You could have said something.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I was just gonna let you finish.
I didn't want to cut out on the Ghostbusters thing. You could talk about Ghostbusters.
No.
You're
How
like,
long
you're
have
like,
you
I don't
been-
want to.
I didn't want to interrupt. Plus, I will talk about Black Widow.
We're still getting a girl Ghostbuster, by the by.
I know.
Though I do hear a lot of SJWs are losing their shit on Twitter at the fact that this is happening because they're like, oh, what, the girls Ghostbusters doesn't count? I'm like, I'm sad to say, but no. And
It was a reboot. It wasn't.
and
a
honestly,
continuation.
yeah, because it's a reboot, it shouldn't count. And secondly, it was a poorly written movie. It wasn't.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great. And I mean, it did not live up to what I would consider to be the Ghostbusters standard. I will straight up say I absolutely loved Holtzman. Really loved Holtzman. Thought that was thought she was a wonderful character. Like, she was very much a female Venkman, and I love that about her.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
definitely was.
I get that you need to be different, but the character personalities kind of do balance each other. In the original Ghostbusters, you had Egon, who's just there for the science. He's just there for the science. Ray, who's just straight out fascinated by everything. Egon, who's just kind of, or I'm sorry, not Egon, but Venkman, who's just kind of like, he's the game show host as it is. and Winston was just kind of the every guy that was thrown into this situation. It was like, if there's a good paycheck in it, I'll believe whatever you want, you know. So the dynamics of the characters' personalities sold that film more than anything. And we didn't have good meshing personality character. We didn't have characters that really meshed well personality-wise with each other in the 2016 Ghostbusters. And also, I'm going to sit here and say this right now. As funny as I think he is, I think that was a terrible use of Chris Hemsworth. Like,
Yeah.
you played him
supposed to be
too
the
dumb.
hot-
You played him too dumb. And it just, it pulls me out of the movie. So most of the stuff that I have to say about it has nothing to do with the Ghostbusters being all female. I could give a crap about whether the Ghostbusters are all female. But
as long
better
as it's
writing. Better writing. That was my biggest issue with it. And it wasn't bad, it just wasn't good either. It was just kind of meh. And that's and then on top of that, all the hate that was before the freaking movie did not help. So
Okay, that was just meninist.
yeah, there was a lot of hate. There was a lot of hate, and it just became and then they released a meh Ghostbusters title, and I'm like, come on, man. Ghostbusters 2, yes, not better than 1, but it was still a good movie. It's not. It wasn't terrible, you know. It was still fun, and it still had that same kind of flavor to it. But Ghostbusters 2 is the reason why Bill Murray was so against doing a Ghostbusters 3, because of how much he did not like making that movie. So the fact that he's coming back for Ghostbusters Afterlife, I'm very happy about that.
It's also a staple of his movie career too.
Oh, yeah.
so.
Plus there's I mean, come on, guys.
Plus, there's also Zombieland Double Tap. That one has. him,
Yeah, I
too.
was like, if you stayed for the end of Zombieland Double Tap, I ain't afraid no ghost. Whap. Oh my god, yeah. Stay for the mid and after credits. They were freaking. It's all about Bill Murray. It's the best.
I need to watch
So,
it.
as much as we're going back in circles with Ghostbusters,
Let's go ahead and start talking about Free Guy.
yeah.
Okay, so for those of you that may
I
have
just
watched
saw
the
it.
trailer and been a little confused, it is the story of an NPC who becomes aware that he's in a video game and decides to play a really
hero.
good guy, the hero, in a city full of bad guys. It basically, honestly, it felt like Lego Movie meets oh god, how did I describe it to my roommate?
It's Lego Movie meets Ready Player One.
Yeah, Lego Movie meets Ready Player One with a little bit of Deadpool sprinkled in.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Reynolds.
The reason I said Ready Player One, if anybody's actually seen it.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
You
I
definitely
saw,
get
like,
Ready Player One vibes from
You
this.
definitely get the vibes.
Yeah.
there. Yeah, just seeing it as the prospect of an NPC, just oh my god, finally.
It's
we have an
essentially-
NPC story that
It feels
really makes
like
a lot of
it
sense.
feels like the game is either based loosely on either GTA or what's the game where you can beat people up with a dildo bat? Saints Row.
Saints Row.
Yeah,
Saints
it feels
Row.
like you could buy it. Feels like Freedom City could either be taking place in GTA or Saints Row. It's that kind of an open world. People will do all the crazy shit, and yeah, the bank robbery especially made me think about GTA. But like some of the random background crap that was going on definitely had more of a Saints Row vibe to it. Out in the open city with all those shots. And then, of course, there's that one Fortnite moment where you got the person dancing in the background.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, no, I mean, it is part of the culture, no matter, even if that culture makes me want to cringe.
Yeah.
I like this. This is looking really good. This has potential, and that's 2 trailers for films that Ryan Reynolds is going to be in, because we've got 6 Underground coming out in just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Ryan Reynolds has just been putting out nothing but good shit out for a while. Like, one movie that I always recommend that people don't really know about. It was a feature movie, but if you haven't seen it, go watch The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Oh, dude, that was so good.
Yes.
That
That's
movie
such a
was
good
so
movie.
good. Samuel, you put Samuel L.
people-
Jackson and Ryan Reynolds together. Come on,
Okay, so
this man
here's
has
the thing.
single-handedly ruined the word motherfucker. I love
But
it.
here's
I
the
love
thing,
that
like,
movie.
When I ask a lot of my friends if they've seen it, they're like, "No, what's it about?" I'm like, "Okay, think of it this way.
Ryan Reynolds is a
instead of-
bodyguard
instead of-
for
Yeah,
Samuel L.
instead of
Jackson,
Ryan
who's like
Reynolds
the
being
world's greatest
wild one,
hitman.
it's yeah, I know. It's Samuel L.
That's-
Jackson being the wild card, and basically Deadpool has to take care of Nick Fury.
Rated R
So
Nick
imagine
Fury.
that.
Rated R.
It
Nick
is.
Fury.
It's pretty much yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so.
rated
See,
R Nick
I
Fury
need
going
to
on
see
a
that
drunk
movie.
bender, and Deadpool's like, "No, get back in the car."
Get back in the car.
It's
you're
a
gonna
buddy
be-
cop movie between rated R Nick Fury and PG-13
rated-
Deadpool.
PG with a little bit of Salma Hayek in there.
With a little, oh my God, Salma Hayek does such a good job on that. Like, oh my
I
God,
love her. Fucking scared the shit out of me in that movie.
I love
But
that she was like, I love that she was like basically the queen bitch in the prison. Love that.
Let's not ruin it for anybody.
Oh man,
Hasn't
it's
seen
so
it.
good. If you haven't seen it, please check
Go
it out.
Go see it. Go see
Yeah,
it. It's
Hitman's
on
Bodyguard.
demand. It's on video on demand. You can see it on Amazon Prime. I know it's probably coming to Netflix or something soon, but I
Mhm.
know it's on Amazon Prime,
Mhm.
and definitely watch it. It's one of my favorite movies for a reason.
Oh shit, there's another thing that we need to discuss afterwards. I guess we could tie that into the just Mandalorian itself. We'll talk about Disney Plus as a whole and just review Disney Plus. We'll get to that in a bit. But guys, I love the humor of this Free Guy, because it just starts off with like Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Lion King twice. And I love that because it's very Deadpool kind of tongue-in-cheek marketing, which works with Ryan Reynolds films. But also, it's acknowledging the fact that this is a Fox film, and Fox is now owned by Disney. So, you know, we're getting a little... They're letting Ryan Reynolds be a little tongue-in-cheek about the merger, and I think that's okay. As long as you let Ryan Reynolds poke fun at your company lightly, then we feel like Disney isn't such a giant corporate overlord, even though they are. Even though
Oh
they
my God.
absolutely are. I'm not gonna lie, Disney is a monopoly, and as much as it hurts me to say this, they need to be stopped.
They do, because now almost all the Fox movies are disappeared.
So yeah,
If you look for any Fox franchises, including The Simpsons, you'll find that a lot of episodes from series like The Simpsons and Family Guy that poke fun at Disney are not there anymore.
Simpsons is on. No, Simpsons is still there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's in bad format. They also cut down the formats on them. So they made them ultra widescreen where they cut out a lot of the jokes.
Wait, what? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
They basically they're not like taking down the series, but like certain episodes.
No, it's
are
on
basically
Disney
getting-
Plus. It's like
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
Simpsons
certain
stuff is
episodes.
moving over
Yes,
to Disney
No,
Plus.
no, no.
Certain
Yeah.
episodes have
She's
been
not
cropped.
saying that it's not. She's saying that like certain episodes are getting shafted.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been cropped or they've been blown up widescreen that you can't really see many of the outside jokes.
Welcome to the House of Mouse, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You can't make fun of the big corporate overlords
Yep.
unless you're Ryan Reynolds, because for some reason they can let him get away with that.
Because he makes them money now.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Simpsons make them money now too.
Yeah.
It could. The issue is, I know that the Disney. It could be that, and I'm not defending Disney on this. I know that Disney Plus is still in an earlier stage of stuff. If they do address the issues, they would have a lot more consumers happy.
Yeah.
So it could be just they don't have all their all the pieces together for it. But if they are really, I think if they were cutting complete episodes, I think we would actually have an announcement about that.
Well,
But,
not only that, there'd be rioting.
I mean,
and
if
stuff too.
they own the news circuits, I mean, will you really?
Well, they don't own all the news circuits. They only
Well,
own ABC.
Technically, Fox News is a separate entity. It's not actually owned by.
Yeah, it's not actually owned by them. Because
That
if it was, you'd see a lot less conservative talk going on. Because yeah.
But let's get back to the actual. Sorry.
So anyway,
In your pocket.
but anyway,
No,
yeah, this kind of
it's
came
two
out of.
blocks.
It's 2 Glocks. Yeah, this came out of nowhere, and honestly, it looks like a lot of fun.
Looks so amazing.
I
What is the
want-
rating?
PG-13, I think, or maybe R.
Yeah,
It
I
could be
think
an
so.
R-rated Disney film.
No,
I mean,
it's a 13 from what I understand.
okay.
I felt like they could have pushed, and
I'm waiting for somebody. I'm waiting for somebody to take the Sweet Fantasy out of this trailer and just replace it with Everything is Awesome, because
Oh God, no.
yeah, somebody please like do that, or get in touch with your meme lord friends and have them do that, because it needs to happen. Come on, there's already too many Lego Movie comparisons. Let's just go for broke. Make it R, says Salty.
I mean, oh shit, Taika Waititi is in this one.
Yeah, Taika
Yeah.
Waititi, and so is Steve
And
from
Channing
Stranger
Tatum.
Things.
I think I'm absolutely
Yeah.
certain that he's going to be like the main antag, but
Like
Yeah,
he's the guy
yeah.
that runs the. He's the guy that's like in charge of the game. That's what I'm getting
Yeah,
from this. Like
yeah.
the company.
Channing Tatum
it's like the
and Joe
CEO.
Keery. That's Steve Keery.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, that guy. He's Steve in
And,
Stranger Things. That's
and
what he is.
apparently Jacksepticeye and Ninja are in it too. Of
Nin-
course they are.
Ninja, not so much. Jacksepticeye, I'm very happy about. Like Jacksepticeye needs to be in more silly shit like this.
I would
Yeah.
laugh. Hear me out. If that's Jack or Ninja getting killed right there,
my
the
God,
yeah.
how he gets the glasses.
The bank robber
Yes.
is Ninja, and be like, yeah, Ninja fails while Jacksepticeye is still king. I like Jack. I'm not a fan of Ninja. Clearly.
I can see, but on a, I mean, this trailer did catch me by surprise.
But it also
I
caught
am-
my eye. You know.
I'm gonna be like a little like I want to enjoy it. But I'm going to go in with I'm interested, but I really am gonna set my expectations just a little low.
That's fine.
And I'm not saying it's because this movie looks interesting, but the last time I saw a movie that was like this, there was a few things that let me down. But I'm
Are
definitely.
you talking about? Wait. Are we talking about Ready Player One?
No, I didn't see Ready Player One. actually.
Oh, you definitely
You need to
watch it.
see Ready Player One, sir.
I mean, if anything, just listen to the audiobook by Will Wheaton.
No, watch the movie first. Watch the movie first, then
I-
then check out the
I-
audiobook. That way you can be at least only slightly disappointed in the movie.
No.
That way you can enjoy the movie the first time, because there's no way a movie is going to be able to compare to the book. No way.
So-
That's just never going to happen.
So all I'm hearing is that I should read the book.
Well, no, you should watch the movie, but yes, you should read the book.
Read the
Or
book.
if you
Read
decide
the
to go-
book with the movie.
You should
Yeah,
no
I-
watch the movie, then read the book. That way you're not
Then
full of
listen to the
disappointment.
audio.
or additionally, read the book, then just watch the movie and look only for the references and just view the whole thing as like a comedy. and just kinda
I'd
enjoy
really
it.
rather you go and watch the movie without being a giant judgmental, person going in. Like, there were enough judgmental assholes in the theater when we were watching it. But we watched it and we loved a lot of the references that were in there. We were pointing out like all the different Easter eggs because there's so many. It's so cool. Like if you like 80s and 90s nostalgia, this is a movie to just go watch. Just chill out and watch it. Have a
Yes.
good
Well,
time.
I already know about Mechagodzilla. I already know the controversy that they changed the Iron Giant in the movie, which I love that Iron Giant from what I heard was in it, but it was
Mhm.
supposed to be Ultraman, to be
Yeah.
more connected. It's one of those like, but not a lot of people actually know Ultraman
Outside of Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
really obscure. It's really obscure. And you know what? There were also a lot of copyright issues with getting all the different characters, and Japan was not letting America use Ultraman.
I'm
Yeah,
not
no.
surprised.
That's
by
the
that.
big thing. Yeah. So
But
at the end of the day, we got a really good movie. It was a lot of fun, and there was like a lot of great stuff about it. So at the end of the day, we should be unbelievably thankful for all the stuff that we got. And no, the book is never going to compare to the movie. I don't care which movie it is. So yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can say
Case in point, The Shining.
Harry Potter, if you want it to be.
Well, no, I was keeping it within the realm of Ready Player One. Case in point, The Shining. They pointed out that famously Stephen King does not like the movie.
That's true.
Yeah. So, getting into that, where the book does not live up to the movie, The Shining.
Isn't there
the other way around. It's already out. You mean Dr. Sleep? It's already out.
Dr. Sleep.
It did not do well.
I haven't seen it, and I kind of wanted to see it.
Neither have I. I just know it hasn't done well. Any other things to talk about on Free Guy that you guys want to hit on before we move on to? All right, moving on to our next trailer. Let's talk about Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, a Shazam.
We'll be here forever if we keep going on with this train of thought.
All right. So one thing, Lone Carrier. We did Ghostbusters was the first thing we talked about.
Yep. So you showed up too late. Sorry.
All right. Oh, good. So, I mean, we can continue on with DC.
Hey, it says streams unavailable.
No.
Yeah, just said that.
Suspended for policy violations. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Because I showed, like, clips of... Jesus Christ.
Can you guys hear us?
I muted the whole... No, I mean, I had it mute. I was just playing the video in the background.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for multiple episodes, but no. I even slowed the speed down for everything. Like, I was purposefully trying to make it where... But whatever.
Okay.
Content issues, stream unavailable, blah, 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 even though it's technically still going.
Probably the Wonder Woman. Oh, we can see your computer.
Looks like it's
It
back.
looks like it's up.
There we go. It's back.
Okay.
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 They're like, oh, you can't show the trailer even if you slow it the heck down.
Yeah.
So that was a thing. All right.
All right.
And guys, you don't have to message me to do it. I'm staring at the chat and watching the thing.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
so are
we can
they.
see the-
So we can see it. You don't have to text me, Salty Rick. I'm aware. You don't have to message me on Discord either. I am aware. We are all very much aware. All right, now we will turn things over. We will turn things over to I think in this case this one is one of the ones that you brought up, right, Phil?
Oh yes. So
Take Two.
Yeah, Take-Two has released some very interesting news that they are looking at doing a new BioShock game after so long.
I'm not happy about this. The way
Never
Take-Two has
played the
been
game.
behaving lately, I really, and how poorly I'm sorry, and I will argue this with everybody. I don't think Borderlands 3 was good. I thought it was just mediocre. They were trying to force a character that is obnoxious and ridiculous down our throats for the main campaign. And again, I don't like the way that Take-Two behaved around the whole Borderlands 3 thing.
I agree. I mean,
So I don't have a lot of confidence in this. Please don't fuck up another franchise, Take-Two.
BioShock I loved for the single player aspect, and I agree. How Take-Two did react, especially with Borderlands, was not appropriate. BioShock's in a weird situation because how many guys have actually played all the?
I played
Yes.
all of them.
all the
I have
games, but
played all of them. Yeah.
I've been playing with Carson on his streams.
I've played BioShock 1, 2, and Infinite.
All of them, all the endings. Yes.
Did you play the DLC then?
No, I did not play the DLC.
The DLC for Infinite
Infinite, yeah.
No.
and 2.
Yeah, I played them.
I thought they had already their beginning, middle, end.
technically, in BioShock 2 was the first time they had an additional campaign that you could play another story. Which,
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
in my opinion, I like the story of the DLC more than the main
Would
story.
you kindly get to the point?
Okay. BioShock's in a weird franchise because I don't know where they could go. The only reason that they would even do it and then go back is that we go back to Rapture. I don't know where they could go. I mean, they did try doing the Columbus thing in the sky.
Yeah.
Columbia.
Columbia. But it also tied into like a weird dimensional time rift thing that tied it back to the original. So I've heard speculation from the longest time that they're looking at doing a prequel to the original, that it's before the whole breakout, like the violence and everything, Civil War. But at the same time, that was kind of done if you've played Infinite's DLC. So really, I don't know what they could do for I love BioShock. Don't get me wrong, but yeah,
BioShock's really, really good, but at the same time, I'm like I don't see where they could put a new story in any way and make it feasible.
I mean,
but,
I have two ideas.
But if they take their time on this, the way that they've done with previous games, I'm okay. But 2K, please don't 2K it up. Or Take-Two, sorry.
The only thing I could think, and maybe Walker, I'll listen, is that we could do something more set in the modern day.
That was not the direction I was going. My thought process is we've already done Submerged Beneath the Water, this society that is essentially built around the structure of man, not governments and gods. And then we've already got your Sky Palace, where it's religious zealotry. I think that the next
Zane, done. If you put me in touch with a modder, done. I will put Minu-sama in BioShock.
I will be muted for a moment, guys. I will be right back.
I will gladly put Minu-sama in BioShock. For you find me a modder that is willing to do that, done. I'll do it.
But what I mean by modern is that it's not, the city itself is not modernized.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying.
It's someone from the modern day actually going back to Rapture, seeing more of the collapse.
I mean, there's not really a whole lot that they can do with it, because at the end of 2, a lot of the city just became absolutely destroyed and flooded. Like,
also, Blue Gamer straight up said it. Infinite made a clear ending of every person's story, that every person's story is over.
That's
from the originals.
Yeah, I mean
that's why they would have to go in a different direction entirely.
Yeah,
like,
you couldn't take it back into Rapture unless you're going back to the beginning.
The only thing I could see is that it makes reference. I don't think they do it. It would be stupid. But...
The only thing I could think of is if you're gonna do it, have it be around the building of Rapture, like as Rapture is being created for the first time.
I don't think BioShock needs a reboot, Jared.
BioShock does not need a reboot.
Besides, they already did like an HD collection for
BioShock
it, so...
BioShock is just fine how it is.
Yeah.
No,
I think if you do I think if you
re-release.
do a reboot, then you're entering into Ghostbusters 2016 territory.
Yeah.
Like, and nobody wants to repeat that. Especially not investors.
I like to, that's why it needs to be. I don't know if it needs to go to space, because if it goes to space, then it.
I was gonna say, as far as settings go, I think that if they're going to continue to build upon what was good about the franchise while moving in a different direction, I think that you could implement gameplay mechanics from the first and second, as well as Infinite.
If you want to
specifically the rail system was amazing.
If you want to do BioShock in space, it's really easy. Just play Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
that needs a sequel. Oh my god, that needs a sequel.
I was going to say that if you are taking BioShock in a direction, you could even go subterranean. Set it in the 1960s during the Red Scare. Make it that some wealthy investor went like absolutely batshit and decided to start building a subterranean network of caverns to get the worthy few
Instead of
outside the blast radius.
I disagree. Instead of the 60s, put it in the 70s.
70s?
Yeah, that because the construction would have happened during the 60s. Put it in the 70s or
Okay.
80s. Yeah.
Oh, so it's all. Oh, it's
That
like
way
a
it's
mountain.
still old and you're stuck underground and shit. That's even cooler. Yeah.
Oh,
Or tying into what Fel said earlier, it could even be set in the modern day, and that since you've been living underground for who knows how long, you have no idea what's going on the
You think-
surface.
You think the Russians have nuked the entire planet and it's inhabitable?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. All right. But really,
Is it
that's not
Bioshock in space just Prey? No, it is not. But it's close.
Nah.
I honestly think Alien Isolation is closer than Prey is. Wish I knew enough about Bioshock to add an actual opinion.
Infinite was not an island. Infinite was a.
It was a city in the clouds. It was suspended.
It was a
by
sky island
balloons
or multiple sky islands.
Yeah.
They
with
started,
balloons.
then they went under. Yeah, they started underwater and then they went to the air. Started from the ocean. Now we're here. Why not
And
set
now
it
they
in
need to
30,
go
50?
underground.
Why not set it in 3050 while we're at it? Not quite that high, but we've already got it. It's called Cyberpunk 2077, and it's coming soon.
Yeah.
With Keanu. My
With
man.
the internet's boyfriend, Keanu Reeves.
The only thing that I would want if they do a Bioshock is, and I maybe this was just my opinion, Infinite did not have something terrifying to me like the Big Daddy.
That's why I said underground.
The
Being buried alive is horrifying.
what was really sad is it felt like they were trying to make the bird kind of like Big Daddy, but you can't do that with a giant fucking bird.
There needs to be these and they tried doing with these Iron Men, but they didn't have the same feel as the Big Daddy.
No, they really didn't.
The Big Daddies are so iconic. Too.
Bioshock on Mars. That'd be kind of
That's called
interesting.
Doom, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Why not underground on the moon? We already have it. It's called Destiny.
I thought they were gonna say Bioshock on Mars. Isn't that Doom already?
Yeah.
we-
That's what we just said.
that is the
Underground on the
consensus that
moon.
we
We've already
and
done
Salty
it.
Rick have
Look,
achieved.
look. Moon's already haunted. Don't throw Bioshock into it, okay?
Yeah.
Moon's haunted. That's all you need to know.
Moon's haunted.
Oh my god, new Destiny content comes out tomorrow, fella. Are you excited? I'm excited.
I'm excited, but I'm also looking at Halo.
The Dawning. The Dawning.
Yes.
Oh, you're not the only one, dude. Salty Rick is looking at it and being like, hey, I bought you the Master Chief Collection for PC. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. I probably won't get to it for a minute, but we'll get to it.
See, I need
So
to get
much shit
Halo
I gotta-
for PC.
I was so upset to find out that Ghostbusters video game wasn't on Steam. It's only it's an Epic Store exclusive, so I have to make an Epic fucking account. Now I suddenly care about Epic versus Steam, you know? But I do want to play the Ghostbusters video game on stream with you guys at some point.
What's the next thing on our?
Okay, so next thing up, after we're talking about, we've had some really good discussions about all of our topics. It's been really interesting. Okay, this one is Walkers.
Yes.
This one, you're going to be talking about The Boys
Yeah.
Season 2. I'm probably going to step away for a second, guys, because I haven't seen Season 1, and I don't want spoilers.
I haven't finished seeing season one, so I'm gonna
hang on.
just let me
Let's
know when
not-
you come back in.
It was officially announced. It was officially
Yes,
announced
Phil?
that there is getting a Season 2.
Before we even play anything,
I'm
Yeah,
not playing
let's-
anything. I'm not playing anything. I'm just skipping
can
to...
we put an Can we just put an image on because
That's all I'm doing. That's literally all you're gonna see is just one point of a video that I paused. So
It has.
There we go.
private
Perfect. Smiling face. Nothing can be wrong about that.
yeah, you see, no spoilers, nothing, just a happy smiling face.
Yeah,
What is
just
this?
Let me know.
All right. Here's the thing.
know when you get
Let's
to it.
let's go ahead and operate under the assumption that Walker, no one in this chat has seen season 1. No one, and that
I
there
have
are
not
people,
finished.
who don't even know what The Boys is. So pitch it to them, tell them why they should watch season 1, and get them hyped for season 2. That is your job, Walker. You're a
All right,
DM.
so I
You
can
can do
easily do
this.
this.
I believe in you.
So, The Boys is essentially a subversive comic on the superhero genre, kind of similar in theory to Watchmen. Only whereas Watchmen kind of touched on the kind of like philosophical nature of good versus evil from the standpoint of like these Titaness gods. The Boys focuses primarily on the fact that those lines between good and evil are just more or less non-existent. Heroes put on a facade and are just as corrupt as the people trying to bring them down. The comic is a wonderfully violent and dark masterpiece that centers entirely on these people who go about like they're corporately endorsed superheroes who go around essentially doing whatever the hell they want because no one can stop them. And the Boys, as they are called, is a group that was in the comic. It's a group put together by the government that is designed to bring these people down because they have too much power at this point, and the Boys are the only ones that have the know-how to stop them. The reason that the show is good and you should watch it is because the comic kind of dives too much into certain cliches, like, not trying to spoil too much, but it really goes into the whole like evil clone bullshit and dives too deeply into the like weaknesses are this thing. Like, it really focuses heavily on comic book cliches, whereas the show itself just immediately subverts the comic. Like, it sticks true to the storyline for maybe an episode or two and then immediately diverges and starts becoming its own entity. And I think that the producers and writers on the show have done an incredible job capturing these characters and making you actually root for them. Even some of the bad guys who you know are like terrible fucking people, you want to root for them sometimes because they do an amazing job coming off as these charismatic and influential individuals who will make you buy whatever they're selling. I'm not going to spoil anything about the show, but it draws you in. It keeps you there. I binged it, I think, in a day. It's not long. Season 1, it's like maybe 6-8 episodes long. But each episode ends perfectly to set up the next so that it is something designed that you could binge it pretty quickly.
Yeah. Not to mention if you like old school America's Sweethearts, one of the main protagonists, his name is Jack Quaid. He is Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's baby boy. I used to love watching Meg Ryan movies, so I'm kind of happy.
Yeah, and it's really good.
And it also has Carl Urban, which is by far the best character. But that's personal opinion. But that's just my opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not versed on the actors' names. I know their character names, and
yeah,
Frenchie, my boy.
Oh, Frenchie. Oh,
God bless him.
That man is such a fucking time bomb. It's beautiful.
But essentially season 2 has been set for a release date in 2020. I don't know if they've given us like a time of year when it's going to be dropped.
I don't
know. But I was just kind of surprised with the turnaround for it. Like, the show dropped, I want to say earlier this year, like maybe back in March or April.
It dropped in July.
Okay, yeah. My mistake. It dropped in July, so I'm honestly surprised with how quickly this has gotten a turnaround for a season 2. Like, normally studios that focus entirely on streaming, like Amazon, things like that, will.
No, here's the thing. Like, it got greenlit for a second season before the premiere.
Oh,
it was already in the works.
It's kind of like, I mean, when they know that a show's going to be good. Ironically, let's go look at Disney. DuckTales. Even before the series was done, it was greenlit first.
Yeah, not to mention one of the producers is Seth fucking Rogen.
Yeah,
and I love him.
And and the one thing I do enjoy about this is like, I love Seth Rogen. There's not a whole lot in some of the movies he makes that I can like stomach for too long. But this is just amazing. This is perfect. It doesn't go too far into any direction, but it stays true to the material.
It definitely has like the feel of God damn it, what was that movie or what was that show? Freaks and Geeks.
Yes.
It definitely has the Freaks and Geeks style.
Did somebody Jared just asked, what is DuckTales?
Get out.
I feel I feel really bad for you for not knowing. What kind of horrible childhood
This-
did you get subjected to?
Seriously.
How
How
you
old
talking
are
about
you?
what? Are you talking about what we're talking about?
Like, I don't feel like Australia is a good enough excuse to have not seen DuckTales.
Hang on. To answer anyone's question, this is an image from the new trailer for season 2 of The Boy.
Which is a Prime Video original series.
Yes.
Yeah.
That basically deals with what if superheroes were egotistical, selfish assholes.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But
Nail on the
I
head right there.
without
Which,
going.
hey, I'm on board for that.
Um,
What if Superman were selfish, basically?
unless you guys mean what is? Oh, you guys are fine. I mean, I don't have anything else. I mean, I've been enjoying The Boys, but I think that's the thing I would want to wait till everyone's caught up to do a discussion on.
Yeah,
The
I think so
Boys.
too. I'd
Yeah.
love to sit down and do a discussion with you guys. So maybe we'll make that a thing. By
Maybe
in
maybe
January
when
or something.
season
Do you mind
2
if
finally
we-
drops.
Do we mind if we segue from The Boys since we were talking about Watchmen for a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, because
Um,
Watchmen still is going on right now. It's actually
Oh
going
yeah,
to
the HBO
start
series.
The HBO series. It's going to go on.
Yes.
He's in hiatus, starting next week. So if you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend it.
I have
if
not
you like
watched
the
it. I
old-
don't have HBO.
Oh, okay. I can give you my info. You can watch it.
I'm okay.
Basically, what Ava's saying is go watch Watchmen.
Go watch Watchmen. So
I
if
have
you
no
like the
interest
old-
in watching Watchmen.
Well, if you like the old Patrick Wilson version, if you saw the reboot version, you're definitely gonna like this new one. It's very racially based in a lot of it.
I'm not
but
surprised.
But it actually does deal with real life issues that happened. So some of it's lore, some of it's just historical events. So I would like if you guys do get the chance to watch it.
I
go
saw a
watch it.
particular moment
but
of
it's
it
pretty good.
trending on Twitter.
Oh,
No,
I hate Twitter. Sometimes.
that is of historical context.
Yes.
They were talking about the historical context of the show. It wasn't getting.
Yeah, that's how they started.
It
the
wasn't
movie.
getting slammed on. It was getting praised
Yeah,
on
So-
Twitter.
I know of all places.
It was getting fucking praised on Twitter, and I'm like, oh wow.
All right.
That's how you know it's pretty bad on Facebook. I left Facebook for Twitter because Twitter was less toxic. The irony of that statement. All right.
Watch the Watchmen watching you watching Watchmen.
Oh God.
Who watches the Watchmen? Though?
All right. So it doesn't
Rorschach.
matter if you're caught up or not. So long as you've seen at least a couple of episodes. This is the one that I really wanted to talk about, The Mandalorian. Now, 5 episodes have been released. The only thing I'm going to say about episode 5 is it takes place on Mos Eisley. So we're back to Tatooine for episode 5. But that's all you get from me on that particular episode. But, oh my God, this series is so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Baby Yoda.
I was going to say,
I would
It's
I
the
would
only
die
meme.
for Baby Yoda.
Everybody would die for Baby Yoda. I mean, come
I-
on,
I-
it's
I-
adorable.
I like some of the Twitter videos I've seen of it. Like
Mhm.
Oh,
one of them was like a bunch of people like, oh look, they have Yoda toys. Oh, it's just regular Yoda. It's not Baby Yoda.
no, the one I love the most that I've actually been retweeting is the Baby Yoda playing with, doing that "Don't touch that" scene,
mhm.
and every time the music changes, so it went from Rick rolling to Spice Girls to the bird song, the surfing bird from-
Bird's a word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
love
so
the
every time it changes.
there's
I love-
Jared, you've
I
already
love
answered
this.
your own question.
yeah.
What is the Mandalorian about? A
The
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Done.
No, lies. No,
Lies.
Lies.
It is called the Baby Yoda Show. Let's just
It is the
admit
baby.
that.
It is the Baby Yoda show. Let's talk about the real star here.
The real star is the Baby Yoda.
I'm not gonna sit here and say like the Mandalorian isn't awesome. Like I love the Mandalorian, but it's the Baby Yoda show.
But Baby Yoda kind of stole the show.
Baby
yeah.
Yoda is its own meme since episode 4.
Yeah.
He is.
There's just like this amazing fight that's going on. And it gets
And
really
everybody-
intense and dramatic, and then you hear slurping and sipping, and there's Baby Yoda sipping from a cup like he's Kermit having tea.
Well, he is.
That is the
green.
best meme to come out of that show. It's not easy being green.
So, actually, legit question.
Mhm.
Does anyone, like, I know you guys do, but this is a question more for the chat. Do you guys know what a Mandalorian is?
It's okay if you don't. You can go into the show not knowing what one is, and that's okay.
Yeah, I don't mind doing a quick summary.
And you don't have to be a diehard Star Wars fan and get every fucking reference that shows up
I
in
mean,
the
you
show.
could honestly do like a 2-word summary for Mandalorian.
It's good.
Well, I was gonna say Space Spartans, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the best way to describe them is
Space Rangers.
Space Spartans? You mean Master Chief? Also another 2-word.
well, think of
Damn.
them as Mandalorians in the.
Mm,
and I believe
mm,
this
okay.
is the case.
Jared? No, and that's a common misconception. Boba Fett
yeah, no,
was
Boba
not
Fett.
Boba Fett was not in fact a Mandalorian, and neither was Jango. Their armor, while looking very Mandalorian-esque, is not made of Beskar. It is made of Durasteel.
I think they're descendants of Mandalorian.
No, they are not.
They're not.
They are not.
Django, if we're going off the non-canon comics that were released before, Disney absorbed Star Wars, Jango Fett at one point was taken in by a group of Mandalorians. However, he was considered essentially, if you go off Old Republic's, if you go off Old Republic logic, like Mandalorians did often like take in like other races or peoples as
Mhm.
like slaves or like child soldiers and basically trained them up. But they were never officially like Mandalorians. They were never.
No,
given
here's the
that
thing.
right.
Here's the thing. Okay, and then, but the thing is, and this is before it went from Legends to canon when Disney took over. Even at that point in time, Mandalorian was always considered a religion. It did not have a specific race of people that it necessarily belonged to. And I'm talking EU stuff too, because Boba Fett did become Mandalore in the EU, but he's not technically a Mandalorian, and we've since retconned that. And Jango claims to have come from the moon of Mandalore, of the Mandalorian system, but he was not raised Mandalorian. And even before Disney took over, Clone Wars was canon, and Clone Wars retconned Boba Fett being Mandalorian.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
If Texas
I'm
were a
gonna be
religion. Yeah.
I'm gonna be confused for a while.
No, you're not. You live in Texas.
Okay.
I know.
If
I
Texas
will-
were a religion, that's Mandalorian.
If Texas were a religion, it'd be a cult. We all know this.
No, so actually no. Mandalorians are not space cowboys.
They are not
They're-
space cowboys, but this is a space western. It is a
Yeah.
Star Wars space western, and it is fucking fantastic. I am so.
Yeah.
You know what?
It
I am
doesn't
so
have-
happy, even if just for a little while, we get something from Star Wars in which the community, the Star Wars community, can happily come together and enjoy something. There's no fucking flame wars happening between one side or another. This is universally accepted by the entire Star Wars community. Peace in our time, essentially. Until the 20th, when the Rise of Skywalker comes out, and then the fan base is going to fracture again. But for now,
Always.
the Mandalorian is bringing everybody together for the love of Baby Yoda.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. I will say that the most recent episode felt the most Western, as far as like general Western, kind of like a Western show.
Even had a Western title.
It definitely did. But man, it was really good, and there's a lot of nostalgia going on in episode 5 because, like I said, we will return to Mos Eisley, which means we do get to see the cantina.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully they have a new song this time.
no,
There's no song.
No.
just play that same song over again. Yeah. All right.
I'm just saying this for people who haven't watched it. Watch the first 3 episodes. If you don't like it by episode 3, you're not going to like the series. Go ahead and give
All
it
right,
up.
Jared. To answer your question, this is not a prequel at all. This is after episode 6.
Yeah, this is post.
This
Fall
is
of the
3 years.
Empire.
This is 3 years after Return of the Jedi. 3 to 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
So it's set between episode
6 and
6
7.
and 7.
6 and 7. Yeah.
In that 20-year period between 6 and 7.
Yeah, there's a
And then-
lot to cover in that 20-year
then,
period.
See, now we're talking Star Wars. So then, do you guys know about the whole thing with Vader that they've recently announced?
Yeah.
What
How do you
thing
guys-
with Vader? Wait, Vader's supposed to be in The Mandalorian?
No.
Oh.
Not in the Mandalorian. A little update to his backstory.
What about it?
Uh,
I know Hayden Christensen's mad because they cut him out of episode 9. He was supposed to be in it as a Force ghost in several scenes, apparently. Heard about that.
Technically, like the Force was a part of his birth, but let's say someone was manipulating the Force.
What are you talking about? That's been that
Oh,
way
yeah,
since
no,
episode
no.
3. That's not new news.
No. Sidious technically made Anakin.
Nope, Sidious had nothing to do with it.
It was confirmed recently.
They said it was Sidious that did it,
Yes.
rather than it being Plagueis.
It was.
It was originally supposed to be Plagueis, Darth Plagueis the Wise, Palpatine's master,
You asked
From what,
Sidious's
from what
master.
what they said in the comics recently, it was Palpatine.
Yeah, if it didn't come from George Lucas, it doesn't count on that one. I'm sorry, no. I don't care what Disney tries to sell me. Unless George Lucas says it, it's not true. I'm not gonna buy that bullshit.
Yeah, because I thought it was Plagueis infected him.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, am I
So
thinking Kylo?
No. You're
Probably
thinking.
thinking
You
Kylo.
might be thinking of the situation of when Vader met another Sith Lord recently. That actually I did enjoy.
okay, this is becoming way too confusing.
Look, I live by only one rule, and that's that Revan was the true chosen one. Did some good shit.
See,
Nice Old Republic's a great game. Go play it.
One thing I would say about that, people really want
Want what?
Keanu Reeves to play Revan.
Yeah, if they ever do a
Yeah.
TV series, like I would die if Keanu Reeves played Revan.
Plagueis would not be dead when Anakin was born because Palpatine's not that old. Sidious is not that old, and you're talking about by the time that that Anakin appeared in Episode 1, he was actually 11. According to the actual novels, he was 11 and Padme was 14. So it wasn't a creeper thing. They're only 3
Although
years apart.
Plagueis was
The
dead
one
before the
person
first
that
movie,
I
though.
wish that they
Plagueis
did
was
not
dead
cover-
before the first movie, but you've got to think that Anakin was basically brought to life by the Force 12 years before that movie.
It was
Yeah.
the dark side of the Force, which is a lot of people are speculating that. And this
Yeah,
is
but
just,
speculation is one
Hey,
thing.
hang on.
And Plagueis
Yeah,
could have done
maybe-
this as Plagueis could have made Anakin with his dying breath.
That's we just know that it wasn't the Force through natural means, which a lot.
Oh
of
no,
people
it
are
absolutely wasn't the Force through natural means, and we've known that for a while. The big
Yeah.
speculation has been that Plagueis is responsible for
And then a
the
lot of
creation
people-
of Anakin, and a lot of people assume that Snoke was actually Plagueis having survived the attempt on his life by Palpatine.
Yeah.
Or by
The other
Sidious.
thing- The other thing that I've heard, and this is just a rumor mill,
Mhm.
is that because the Force was manipulated into making Vader, this is what Baby Yoda was supposed to.
Oh, he was Baby Yoda was the balance to that.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because of the 50-year, because he's 50 years.
Let's see. Vader at the time of Episode 3 would
I'm
have
just sad
been
that Ahsoka Tano will
20
never
some,
be part of the movies.
would have been in his 20s. So at the fall of the Empire, at the death of Vader, he would have been about maybe 40. So him being that Yoda would be almost, but that baby Yoda would have been older than Anakin. So I don't understand how Baby Yoda would have been made as a response to Anakin.
But it might have been a response to Plague.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
that.
But let's. Was that the last thing we needed to talk
Yeah.
about?
Well,
In a way, we're going to talk about Disney Plus versus we're going to talk about Disney Plus in general and what are you guys thinking about it? I pretty much only use it for The Mandalorian right now. I have watched The Absent-Minded Professor on it, so I've watched old black and white films on it a little bit from back in the day Disney stuff. For those of you that are fans of Flubber, check out The Absent-Minded Professor. Even though it's old, it's what Flubber was originally based on.
Yeah. I'm just upset because Recess isn't in its entirety in Disney Plus right now. It's got 6 seasons in a movie, and it only has the first 3 seasons on there, so I'm kind of mad.
I'm not surprised that they don't have everything on there yet. I am a little annoyed that I can't.
That you can't watch certain things until next year because of copyright or because of licensing reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted to watch The Mighty Ducks and The Mighty Ducks 2, but I can't until January.
Yep.
And then on top of that, I was expecting a lot more of the Marvel stuff to be on here.
I was too. I was expecting the full Marvel lineup, but we'll see once the Marvel TV series start coming out how that's gonna go.
The only thing I would say is I'm gonna watch the Marvel TV series.
This is my biggest problem with Disney Plus right now. They're trying to be a television station. You're a streaming service. Act like it. Stop
they
this.
got rid of-
Stop this
they got-
bullshit. Stop this bullshit about giving me 1 episode a week and all that shit.
Yeah, well-
The Mandalorian doesn't work on an episodic basis. Either make the episodes longer or release it all as a batch. Let us binge it.
Yeah.
And that's the same with a lot of your other series coming up, because I feel like you're testing the waters with The Mandalorian, and as much as we love it and as much as we're talking about it, we'll be talking about it a hell of a lot more if we could
It's
watch
not-
the
it's
entire
not Game of
series in its
Thrones.
entirety.
It's not Game of Thrones. It will never be Game of Thrones, so it can't expect to have the same.
Netflix
result.
changed the game. It was one thing. The reason Game of Thrones worked was because it was on HBO and it was on television, and that's how it went. And we didn't shorten it. We didn't shorthand it to just 30-something minutes.
Just to be clear,
But Disney Plus, get your shit together. If you're gonna be a streaming service, be a fucking streaming service. Put it out in batches.
Zane, I see your comment of, but there just wasn't a lot of video game news this week. We cover a lot of news stuff that has come out. And,
Yeah.
Obviously, it's called anime and stuff, so we'll talk about video games. But
We
Star
did talk.
Wars
We
is
did
our-
talk quite a bit about video games, but
Yeah.
this was our second to last topic because we've got one more to go.
Yeah. The other thing is just why we're talking about Star Wars is also Mandalorian's out,
Disney Plus.
new movies, Disney Plus, and the new movies later this month.
Yep.
Like, so expect a lot of Star Wars coverage at the moment. Probably
Until
not
it
as
dies
much.
down.
Probably not. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we talk about it in 2 weeks because of episode 9. And no, you're fine. It's one of those that I didn't see a lot of video games.
I'm not going to talk about Rise of Skywalker until at least frickin' January because I want people to have had time.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
talk about it in the first show of next year.
Well,
That's
yeah,
when we'll talk about it.
I usually give. A
Also,
movie
guys,
a-
we're going on break during the holidays. That's just not happening
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
we're
other
not
thing-
going to be coming
here.
back in 2
We're not
weeks.
going to be here.
Yeah.
The other thing I was gonna say is just a quick thing on my opinion on Disney Plus. It's not bad, but it definitely needs more, and I would agree with you, Richie. The episodic's not bad, but it needs to be more than one episode.
It needs to be fleshed out a little bit better.
They either need to have
Mm.
full-on 1-hour-long episodes, or they need to just release it in bulk, because this is just stupid.
Now, as long as they don't make the fucking seasons just episodes a season, I want an actual fucking.
They've already not only greenlit but have begun filming for season 2.
Okay, as long as it's not the case like we have with Netflix, when they do like they break it down like here's 5 episodes and that's the season.
Like
I
Rick
think
and
that's
Morty.
Rick and Morty's in a weird.
They're in a mid-season break though.
I
They
haven't.
know
I've
that
only seen the first 2 episodes of Rick and Morty season 4.
Okay, well, it's in a weird
'Cause
mid-season
there's not a
break
way-
starting next week.
I don't have television. I don't have cable, Like, I just have internet, and I don't want to stream it from legal sites, and I don't want to pay for another legal one right now. I'm already paying for Disney
Richie.
Plus, Netflix, Hulu, and fucking
Richie,
no, I'm not
just
paying for
hit
Hulu
me up
anymore. I
after
dropped Hulu.
After the show. I
Oh,
will
there's so
get
much
you
stuff I've got to do.
Yo and Disney.
There's got okay. Well, I've got Disney Plus.
Well, I'll get you Hulu for Rick and Morty.
Oh God, I don't know. I have Hulu. I'm done with Hulu. Like, I was done with Hulu. That's why.
Hulu's in a weird.
I hate Hulu. I absolutely hate Hulu.
Hulu's gotten better.
It has not. It has not.
We'll talk about it later.
Well,
Let's get to
My whole thing with Hulu could take up an entire episode, but we'll move on. I mean, technically Hulu and HBO are both now included with Disney Plus if you pay for the extra special features.
Yeah, but it doesn't include the live action package, which I have for
Okay.
sports balls.
See,
I don't care about sports balls.
I love sports ball.
The only sports ball I like is baseball.
Hang on. Just to be clear, I'm interested in what's going to go on with HBO Max if they are going to move Rick and Morty. That.
Okay, guys,
Hey, Mike.
we're moving on. Just to get to
we're
it.
moving on.
Let's move on to talking about the Black Widow trailer. I forgot about this one, guys. I'm so sorry. Of course.
So yeah, well, because Wonder Woman came out right after Black Widow.
No,
so-
that part, no. Ghostbusters wiped my mind. I could care less about the
Okay.
Wonder Woman thing. Like, Ghostbusters wiped my mind because, oh my God, a Ghostbusters trailer! And it looks so good! As a
Alright.
diehard Ghostbusters fan, I had to sit there and tell my brother, who called me half an hour before the show because he wanted to talk about it. I had to sit there and say, I have to talk about it on the show. I don't want to talk about it with you.
Wow, that's mean.
Not that no. Not that I didn't want to, but that I couldn't because I have to talk about it on the show.
Okay.
I didn't want to kill off all of my excitement for this by talking to my brother about it before the show. Wanted to have excitement on the show. Wanted you guys see that I was nerding out, or at least hear it, because you can't see it. Haha. I'm not on camera for this one. Haha.
Okay.
Alright,
Okay.
moving on.
Okay. Well, Black Widow trailer.
Yes!
Gonna happen somewhere between Civil War and, from what I understand, it's either between Civil War or between the second Winter Soldier. I think somewhere in between that area. That's what they were talking about. How
To
Natasha
me,
just
to
goes
me,
home.
honestly, it looks like this is a thing that
Oh,
could have been
Civil
taking
War?
place in between Endgame and Infinity War, during that 5-year period there.
Probably.
Or it could have been something where it starts out in between those two, and then we get
Well,
this
remember-
is flashback. Yeah.
If you remember, when Infinity War, Infinity.
Because there's 5 years in between
started.
Infinity War and Endgame,
Yeah.
technically.
Well, she was starting to change her roots from blonde back to redhead,
Uh huh.
and then it finally comes back to redhead at the very end of it. So maybe somewhere in there, that's what you're talking about.
Later, Salty Rick.
Bye, Rick. But yeah, if it was right behind Civil War, I would have definitely be all for this, especially because Natalia gets to see her family. and we
Really
get to
well
see
done
Red
on the Russian
Star.
accents, by the way. Really
yes.
well done on the Russian accents.
Yes.
You
Oh
look
my
fit.
God.
You
And
look
I believe
fit.
the gentleman is Captain Maple Leaf, isn't it? Exactly.
What?
Major Maple Leaf, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
From PDW.
No. Sorry, no. His costume is supposed to be.
It's Red Star.
No.
Yeah.
It's been so long. I'm
It's
sorry.
the Russian Red Star. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Russian Red Star has two names, one for DC and one for. So I understand.
That's
the
not
confusion
whatever.
there.
That's not what everybody's been calling him. They have not been calling him Russian Red Star.
What have they been calling him?
Hang on.
Let me just-
They've been calling him something else. Red Guardian.
Red Guardian. Okay.
That's what they've been calling him. Not Russian Red Star. They've been calling him Red Guardian. Looks fat in the suit. Thor. Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary. I love this. Red Guardian looks fat in the suit. Thor. Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary. I'm like, yes, I'm all for it.
Do we have that as a meme?
I want this. I want fat Thor versus fat Red Guardian.
Oh,
Like,
God,
it starts off as an epic battle, and then they become the best of bros.
Where's the image?
I
to see
need this. I need this in my life.
So, someone make it a reality, so then Rich can be.
But they did a really good job. Also, it's really nice to see where Hopper went
Yes.
at the end of.
Aww.
It's nice to see where
No
Hopper went at
spoilers.
the end of season
No
3.
spoilers.
Too late.
If you haven't seen it, go see Stranger Things.
Hopper's not dead, people. He is the Red Guardian.
He's the Red Guardian.
He just grew a fantastic beard
And a bigger gut.
and a bigger. Well, no, it's about the same. Let's be honest.
No.
With
he
the
has
amount,
a
with the
bigger
amount of beer that Hopper was drinking, that's about right.
gut. Maybe.
Literally,
But-
beer is liquid bread, and bread makes
Yes.
you fat.
And we have Taskmaster, yes, which looks like Hawkeye for some inexplicable reason.
Yeah, I don't understand why, but yeah, he
I don't
does look like
understand it.
Hawkeye a little bit.
But do you think we'll finally see what happened in Budapest?
Budapest?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You and I remember Budapest very,
Very differently. You and I remember Budapest very differently. Good night, Blue Gamer. Man, everybody's going to sleep really early. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Monday. We got shit we gotta do this week.
How dare?
I
have
gotta
no-
leave after this. I gotta
You're
go.
like,
I gotta
we
study
got
for
shit we gotta do, and I'm like, you don't even understand.
Yeah, no, you don't understand. I have cybersecurity class to take, okay? I should be doing that instead of this.
I have 3
Yeah,
projects
still
I'm
do
having to work. No, 4 projects I'm having to
No,
work on right now.
no. Come on, guys. Let's get along.
Nope,
So
never.
Never.
Never,
Yay!
Never ever.
Mortal enemies for life.
You've roomed
Okay.
with us. You should know this is not possible.
I know. I mean,
Unless we're reenacting a very fun moment. Badass, deadass, deadass, deadass.
Walk
I
just like,
started
what the
singing that. I started
I
singing
did
that
that.
while
I did
streaming, freaking Resident Evil the other night. It was
I'm
hilarious.
sorry that I
Great,
thought of that. I'm
What's
so sorry
great
that I
is-
thought of that.
No, I did that. I did that when I was live streaming over Discord for the 18 plus mods
Yeah.
for
Oh,
RE2.
see,
Yeah, but no,
What-
the fact that I thought of that made me feel so stupid, and the fact that I told you guys about
Because we
that
had a
made me
nice
feel
curvy Claire, and
See,
the entire time you can see nothing but booty, and I'm just like deadass, deadass. I was like, oh dear lord, it started again.
I blame
See, what's
myself.
great is that I actually had the soundtrack. So we-
Da 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 ass 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 da 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 ass.
God
Yay!
damn it! God damn it! Why did I start that?
Speaking of dead ass, Natasha Romanoff, everybody.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson. Do she got that booty? She do.
Man, that's an old meme by this standard.
I mean,
God, I think our age is showing.
Yeah. So quick, somebody do the floss.
I take off my hat. No, if somebody does the floss, your age is showing yet again, because that's an old meme now too.
I mean, it's
Just
not
Play
like
a
it's
bunch
the
of Fortnite. There you go.
It's like
Yeah.
3 or 4 years old now.
yeah. I mean, we could do the oh shit.
That's
it's
dinosaur.
that boy
That's
It's that
dinosaur
boy.
years in the internet terms.
in the
Oh, I know.
Oh god.
All right. Well, anything else that we want to talk about the? I mean, this trailer looks dope. I'm really looking forward to it.
looks good.
Honestly, I was not that hyped about a Black Widow solo movie. I know it needed to happen. Like, Natasha deserved her own standalone movie.
And we should
and-
have had it before.
But
Captain
I was
Marvel.
not. But I was not expecting to be as hyped as I was after I watched this trailer. Like, I'm legit hype about this. Like, holy shit, I'm looking really, really forward to Phase 4 of Marvel.
Yeah. Same. I honestly, we could have done but without the Captain Marvel.
If this
and
is
just put Black Widow in there.
if this
That
is
would've
how
been
we're
perfect.
if this is how we're kicking off Phase 4, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna do the clone program for Natasha?
I hope not.
I hope not either.
I think you would
Yes,
ruin-
there is a clone program. I'm sorry, I'm ruining it for you guys, but yes, there is a clone program. just
Read
like
the
there was for
comics, you
Damian-
plebes.
Read the comics. Read the comics.
If you
Just
have-
like Damian
if you
Wayne,
can-
there's a clone program. So
God damn it.
whether or not she comes back, we
Read
don't
more
know.
comics, you plebes.
Read more. Read more comics.
I was gonna say, if you guys want to also follow the comic story in for getting your insight on
Yes.
some of the updated comics, do that. So that way you can enjoy comics as you travel. And that's not even a sponsor.
We don't have sponsors on this
I
channel,
love
so
Thomas
there you go.
Varian, so definitely go watch his stuff.
Oh,
He does the
and
best
really
DC
quickly,
lore.
ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen it, I think the episode's already aired, but tonight was supposed to be the first appearance of Kevin Conroy's Batman in the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh,
So, yeah.
I'm not gonna.
This
watch it
episode, we
until
were
it's
supposed to
done.
get Kevin Conroy, and no, you have to watch at least the first half. The first half of it once this week is over. Because we got to talk about it soon. Anyway. So, yeah, him and Tom Welling were supposed to show up tonight. It was their debut episodes. So, looking forward to that. And, yeah. Okay. That's basically it that we had to talk about. I'm sorry to cut us off. I know we probably wanted to talk a bit more about Black Widow, but unfortunately, it's 9:35 and we gotta go. So, if you want to check out all the stuff that we do, the links to that are in the description below, except for Latin Fire, who did not give me her information.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was dealing with computer issues.
You better be sorry. No, I'm kidding. So
You don't even have to follow me on YouTube. Just go to my Twitter, LatinFireV8. That's it.
okay,
My
well,
shit
link
goes
me your
down.
Twitter. Link me your Twitter so I can put the link down in the description. Nah. All right. So she plugged herself. You can check out what Fella's doing over at his Twitter, which is linked at the bottom of the description. You can
and I
follow.
just hit 300 followers.
You can you can find all of what Walker is doing by visiting his YouTube channel, which is also at the bottom of the description. And guys, I'm gonna be streaming hardcore try to get S+ run on Resident Evil 2 tonight. And if you guys want to jump over there and check that out, the link to my YouTube channel is also at the bottom of the description below. I will be adding Eva's in momentarily. She's like there. Okay, she sent it. Good. Copy link. Go to description. Scroll to bottom of description.
The only thing else I can really plug in is see you guys Wednesday.
What the fell?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not counting on that.
I got my schedule ahead of time.
I'm learning. No, yeah, but your schedule. What does that mean? What does the schedule mean when you get called in to just randomly do stuff? I don't
Okay,
trust
well-
your work anymore. So I'm like, yeah, you're 50-50 that's happening.
Okay, well, fine, but I do need to do a stream beforehand to test my new modem.
That is also true.
Yeah, because I want to test that before I do What the Foul, because I don't want another tech issue.
So yeah, there's all that stuff.
Dude, you do enough streams like me, you're always gonna have.
All right, your Twitter account is now linked. If you want to follow Eva, her Twitter account is listed in the description at the very bottom. Thank you guys so much. We're the people from Anime and Stuff, and we talk about anime and stuff. Basically, all the geeky stuff that we want to talk about, because it's our show and that's how we do it, and you can enjoy it too. That should be the tagline. It's our show. We're going to talk about what we want.
Yep. And yeah, follow
And that's
us and
on all our stuff down below. Thank you guys so much.
Walker.
Yeah,
Will we
good.
be having a D&D session next week?
Yeah, we will be having a Dungeons and Demon Slayer next week on the 16th.
Hopefully no one goes sauntering into the middle of a demon-infested cave.
I didn't
Yeah, you know.
Yep.
You know what? I've just dubbed it the Cave of Injuries. Instead of the Cave of Wonders or the Cave of Mystery, it's the Cave of Injuries. Make sure everybody to bring your doors.
Yep.
Because, as we all know, that's his favorite band, right? The Doors?
Yeah, 3 doors down, I heard.
3 doors down, yeah.
Damn it, stop.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.